Toxic relationships. Taste. My lips have always craved the taste of danger. Maybe it is because I don't know what's good for me, or I'm in love with the high I get from it. The high that makes me to the heavens, surpassing the pillow like clouds, resting against the azure canvas. I remember the taste so vividly as I leave it at the thought of it. It's the sweet like candy, the sugary goodness, rushing inside my veins, delicately coating my tongue. Bites between my teeth explode into a thousand little pieces dancing inside my mouth. Your succulent lips pressed against mine remind me of the taste of the summer strawberries, juicy and tender with citrusy undertones. We are kissing like there's no tomorrow. Oh, how I feel your lips part from mine, then touch and part again. The way the clouds greet the sky before a rainy afternoon. How can something so bad taste this girl? So I'm convinced your kisses are a drug. Nice to play with, but toxic to the mind. Kissing, you must be equivalent to intoxication, shock waves through my body, the paralyzing euphoria. I don't think I could ever give you up. This addiction is taking control. Magnets. It's the name of the game, slaves of our secret place. Even if we discreetly meet, since we hate being apart, safe and sound with you, baby. All I need is your sweetheart. Our secrets intertwine, we play and tease and taste till the tension simmers up inside. We form an explosion of emotion as powerful as the windiest storm. But we only see each other's yes lying on the floor. And when I said, no, I love you more, you melt and slam the door, gently kiss my head and nibble on my neck, carries me everywhere till I softly moan in your mouth. And it drives you wild. And so you quickly go down, kiss my legs, then my thighs, as my whole body shakes you on my very curb. I pant louder and louder, then you scream, please don't stop, but you want me to so bad. Oh, and you are the rock heart, so you slip right inside and we make passionate love in the dark, the prize. A subtle panic will slow a death creeps. The anxiety within me for years where it sleeps, quietly loud enough to cover the sound of a glass where you have it thrown. Now strewn all around, rocking all possible lullabies to sleep, ensuring all the menacing thoughts I'm to give. Is that a teen who's stayed out beyond curfews, sneaks and armed with oceans with which it will drown you, all because of lies that was said, went in through your ears and lived in your hand. The life you once had held aloft like a prize. You breathe your last breath and then close your eyes. Love trap. Calming seas breaking our launches and the boiling volcanoes, close encounters and everlasting embrace. There were Vesuvius, desperate to touch and sweet the shore, sweet, sweet shore, fool's gold. My inbox was always full, but I always made time for you. Now time tells me I'm the fool. You say you will, you never do. You said you would, you never did. Reclining, you could watch me sing. That doors and anchor down and to say you gave your all to keep me sane. Don't get me wrong, we were both fades. Waves controlling insecure and saying like deep sea diving into the rain, not knowing it was all in vain. Practice breathe slowly and steady. In the ocean, hot and heavy, and screaming for a miracle to help us find our way to shore. Now I think I'm dissipable, dissecable, that I would move sea, sand, and shoreline just to make sure you were mine. A pretty washed up shell design. My heartstrings were the feathers on your quill. Since it was me who started, I must then beg your pardon. It made sense to my little heartstrings. Play the tune of your sweet laughter, but use my heart as you think ink, and I'll cry tears blue like wink ink blots, asking why. Would ask you why. Each time you said that we would stop, words run. Write down the page till and test the same till black and blue blend just one shade. I thought love was something that lived just next door, but one to head. Relapsed. Couldn't resist the minute more relapse I again after 6 months sober here in the pain I know all too well. 10 years lost into this drug. My veins ache for first breath in the morning and the last thought at night, all consumed by it. Every cell in me craves it, that physical euphoria. My body portrays. Feels like someone has poured pure joy into every single muscle and fiber of my being. It makes me feel so content. I'm literally in love with the entire world. Every single bit of me is singing and buzzing its life and love. It's like the ecstasy of the first blissful, pleasurable possession of the euphorians and the serotonin is what I feel like when I first take love. And then the honeymoon stage is over, fights erupt, never ending debates, miscommunication, misperceptions, no trust, accusations, lies. I'm done. Again, it feels like I'm a part of the soul leaving my body, sitting here numb, a toxic love I'm addicted to, and there is no way around it. It's already deep intertwined with my beings. Yet, no matter the toxic, tragic event that happened before, I sit here and I want nothing more than to spend my life next to the soul. To see his eyes unchanged and the skin around me wrinkling and old is what my heart always desired, to stare at those eyes for the rest of my eternity. That's so here I'll wait until you decided to come into my life again and repeat it. I can't wait until they realize that I'm still angry. You're sick. You're a sick person, my little old love, with eyes like ferocious, angry beetles. You chew into me and cut out the tiny stinking holes. If only you knew it wasn't invisible. If only you knew you were toxic. The cement is wet when you bash my head up open, and then the cement is still wet when it rains. Ever after I learned I was being fed glue and not honey, I still swallowed it for you, yet you still tried to convince me it was honey. As snowflakes fell, you made your way towards me. You were glowing under the silver rays of the moonlight, running towards me as I stood still, left breathless and steady as you catch me in your embrace. I know I can't resist. I know you'll never let me, no matter how much we remind ourselves that this relationship is so wrong. I guess we just can't help being in love with each other's psychotic tendencies. If you only knew about the war raging inside me, this conflict that slowly kills me whenever I confront this truth, that no matter how much we tried to adjust things, we were never even made for each other in the first place. We cling to me. You cling to me tightly, never wanting to let go, tears falling down your face, irresistible even in your saddest phases. I'm on the edge with you, desiring you more than ever, even when you would tell. When the world tells me that we are totally bad for each other. You sink your nails on my arms, hastily pulling my face to yours, kissing me viciously, sweet like the sweetest poison for me, and even when it hurts, even when it makes me go insane, even when I know it's all a lustful wanting, everything you do to me, it feels so right. Tonight is a dangerous night, highs beneath the passion, love, blood, my winter desire, and yet I still want you to stay the world and peace that we truly are. As bodies dripping in cold sweat and collide in a destructive union. You are my sweetest voice in your melodious desire, no matter how much they say otherwise. You are the one I wrongly chose. Or the things you would do for love. One moment you'll start to realize how much his touch could melt your skin, and how his words blended with empty promises but could fill your soul, starving for security, trying to fix the tracks, and there will be agony and you will mistake it for love. One moment you will see yourself in his eyes, lifeless, buried in tragedies, unable to escape, and you will stay, but not in his life, but in his eyes, burning with a catastrophe. There will be flames devouring you inside, and you will mistake gasoline for your patience. I'm intoxicated. You have never kissed me with sober. You have never kissed me with sober lips. Your poison. Your poison. Your love is fucking an apple with a sky of death, knowing but well it will buck me quick. Still, I bite to get my fix. The first taste upon my lips was sweet and succulent heavenly bliss. Slowly your poison creeps through my veins till my snow white skin is left blood stained. Sooner or later comes an antidote. I will to be happy that brings me afloat. I cast away your rotten coat, telling myself I'll love you no more. Days go by and there you sit, a brand new apple with no holes in it. Suddenly all the cravings creep through and again I take a bite. Yes. Oh my God, bless me. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Days go by and there you sit, a brand new apple with no holes in it. Suddenly all the cravings creep through and again I take a bite of you. Willingly I poison myself with your kiss, hoping this time it will be true bliss. Sadly it only ends all the same, with my heart in small pieces and only me to blame. Your love is an apple with a kiss of the death, knowing it will. Me quick, I'll always take a bite to get off my vexed addiction. My breath is but a whimper, a faint hollow sound. Inspiration, passion, where are you hiding? October is the cruelest month, for nostalgia creeps at every corner, following, lurking, seeping through my unconscious and creep into my nightmares. I just can't seem to escape. Anxiety, cold sweat. If I didn't like it, but I would be lying. For months I have felt that I hate you, yet I crave you. You set my pulse on fire, yet I am the last to admit I want this. Have you? Have you ever loved someone so deep you forgive them for breaking you and still wish them the best? Have you? Have you? What did you do? You have everything, my reason to live. Though something dark withers within every time I see you, a piece of me dies over and over, but I fear you don't mind. Do you care so little that I'm suffering inside, or is it you do and you are covering it with lies? My moments of your life turn into shade. I hesitate. Can I create creases with my blend, just as curious and clueless as I infamously am? I'll accept my fate as your sacrificial lamb and I'll die for you again. My reality. It is my best friend and my nightmare. It's all I love and everything I fear. It's my fulfillment, my bottomless sorrow, bringing dark thoughts of no tomorrow. It's my strength, my greatest plight. This evil addiction I try to fight. It is my oblivion, my heart breaking by a toxic cloud that's killing my brain. It is my protection. The paranoid lies the devil himself in a crystal disguise. It is my sanity, my endless strife, this meta the mind destroying my life. It is my reality. It is my reality to make believe bliss. I just never imagined I would end up like this. Bad person. I'm a bad person trying to make the world a better place. I'm a mistake trying to repent for my hurtful, toxic, and malignant ways before my inevitable and unceremonious demise. Good actions, however, can never replace nor diminish the truth of a life filled with regrets and burnt bridges. Rambling. Ever feel the alluring, nagging pull of someone thinking about you? Perhaps I've gone completely mad and it's just some type of illusion. Maybe it is just a craving, an unequivocal need to feel, to touch, to test every inch of you. You arouse something in me that I ever so desperately try to pull from others where it doesn't exist. I hate to admit it, drive me absolutely mad, yet I love every second of it. And that entrant animalism makes me feel so alive. Won't you take me, baby? After all, I'll be yours. You have engulfed me in foreign waters, drowned by the sea of the petty lies and empty cries, so you would keep me around for your well-being, but never asking about mine or how I'm doing. You never really cared about me. You never really gave a thought about me. You have only picked at my insides from a distance, ripping my piece by piece, while you shrugged to stay whole. I know you prayed I would stay blind, and now you have lost your mind because I didn't. get away before it gets worse. A lot of people are so quick to criticize other people not knowing what they go through or went through in their life. I met a woman, she was always grumpy. To my head, I was like, she's a fucking. So I would always be in her classroom. I'm the type that would sit there quiet and analyze you. So I'm looking at her just by staring at her while she wrote down my assignment. I looked at her. If she was okay, she took to the side and said, yes, me, knowing she wouldn't let me see her eyes to eye. I noticed that she had a patch on her face to make up for the makeup not blend too well, and noticed it was a bruise. When class ended, I waited for the last one out. The students went up to her and told her that it was not too late to get away from the toxic relationship. She didn't know what to say. She couldn't speak. Her voice was not. She leaned over to me. I ended up hugging her. She cried in my arms and said, I'll try my best to be perfect and I'm not good enough. It broke my heart when she said that a young, beautiful woman dealing with a scumbag. I'm frustrated, I'm at fault, I'm not at fault. I'm trying, but I'm wasting away. I push forward, but you push back. And I'm so confused together apart. What do we do? Place blame, take blame, ignore the fact of what that it happened, continue forward, move on, put together or separate. What is deserved? My wallet, my livelihood, my secrets or gas money, my heart, my feelings, my emotions, my body, push it to the limits. But what for us, for you? Is it worth it for you, for this? Why? Your words, your heart and mind and the soul, can we make it or will we break? The spring bell pass. Only in the best season, the forgotten gateway opens in a field of bell flowers in two colors. White, the color of the light, and love as pure as it sounds, like golden light, the majestic rising sun in the early morning. They never cross the road, but are separated by it. I wonder why. Perhaps it is the harmony created by the untouched nature. Or is it the order they chose to grow in while the warm weather can be felt through body and soul, through emotions in the mind, only a chirping of the locusts, hoping from bell to bellflower. The road is frankly short, leading to the nearest forest, yet the sensation brought by the optic nerve into those through the sweet smell. What is it? What makes it something which cannot be truly conveyed in words, because the untouched nature is its art in its very own way, until the greed of the humanity destroy its gift with its toxicity. What remains are the memories of harmony and grace. Bequeath. Roses are red, violets are blue, but now so am I. And if it's all because of you, now instead of the roses, my reds are blood red, and the violets have stained the side of my head. You hug me and cry, and I say it's okay, but you always come back with your violin bouquet. Something. Our relationship is strong. Many things happened this year. I don't know quite where it all went wrong. I try to connect with you, but you cut me down, make it all about you. You say I'm making something out of nothing, but that impossibility, you can only make something out of the other somethings. You are my something. I built my life around you. If you liked it, I liked it. If you hated it, I hated it too, but I guess it doesn't matter. And the only conversation we have now is if I lost weight or am fat. Your love is conditional. I just want to be myself, even if it is not traditional. When did you stop loving me for me? I gave my life you too. I thought living for you was my destiny. You say I'm selfish, but I'm always hiding my feelings, cries and desires from you. To be a good daughter was my only wish. Now I just crave acceptance. I can't live in your shadow. I'm done. I'm served my 18-year sentence. One day I'm going to explode all of this hate my heart can hold. Don't act like you don't even know. You are the cause of this, throwing accusations back and forth, causing misfits. Just by existing, you start destruction. Whenever you open your mouth to speak, it feels like a disruption. Overall, I'm just convinced you are a suction. All the good energy drains when you are around. Because of these actions, it's harder for redemption to be found. Your over-fried scrambled egg brain, the crystal blue toilet water eyes, your entangling luscious snake-like locks are enchanting, your enchanting lined lips, your snuggled and overly tight embrace, your sweet and suffocating breath. You compete You're complete and utter toxic love, everything about you and me. And I pay more attention to the words now. I started writing a poem about him, and the beginning sounded like it was the one where I told you that words aren't enough to define us yet. Words are limiting, but they also have a way of telling you more if you pay close attention. When I love you endlessly turns ILYLE, a lie. I can't imagine my life without you turns to weeks of sitting alone, and all the I miss yous turn to how I use. And if you even cared, your actions never matched your language. Were your words too limiting for you? When I was still always there for you, and all you did was break promises. And were the words you spoke too constricting? At least that would explain why you broke them. Though still not why you said them. Maybe you were afraid to let me down, or afraid to really be seen, or just be self-absorbed that you didn't care and you couldn't care about yourself or about me. Suns and stars. You say that the zodiac means nothing, but you have not seen the toxicity of the two star signs, and that could never be collided, a toxic relationship. It begins with your happiness depending on you, their happiness depending on you, your smile fueling their existence into the night in the hopes of sitting in it in the morning, their aura consisting of the depth of never-ending black. They'll drown yourself in your black swept hair matching perfectly with your blue eyes of sadness. It continues with your sadness matching yours. Two people barely hanging on to the world. You find yourself wondering why you're wasting your time with a 12% chance. May the storm drag every inch out of me, along with the dread of this loneliness, spin it along with all the meadows, all the shadows of the lovers that went wrong. Let the storm cleanse all the remains, the pile of endless city, even the fields of the flowers and the butterflies that I built for you, and wipe it all clean so I can grow a better one for myself. The storm will end soon, and when it does, you will be as good as dead. And when it does, and that is left of your sanctuary in me is rubble and dust, toxic. I remember the sound of his thundering footsteps, the glass shattering. I see my mother's shed, hands shaking, his loud, booming voice filling up the silence. My mother one second standing, the next sprawled across the marble floor. I remember everything. I remembered it so vividly. It hurts my head. The memory does not want to go. I still see it in replay with the worn-out eyes. I still taste the abuse of my tongue. I still touch the mirror and see that it's reflection in state of mind. I remember the stories my mother used to tell me of how she dreamed of the one meeting my father was some kind of the twisted fairy tale. But now, as years pass, she stares at him, wondering whether was the man she once loved. I grew up afraid of love, afraid of what is capable of, afraid of myself, wondering if I will grow up to be exactly like him, wondering if one day I will grow up to accept the roses and ignore the thorns, just like my mother did. Questions still arrive in the twisted pot of bread. As if the airport welcoming hundreds of passengers, I asked myself, what do you do when you love when the love you once longed for become toxic? What I'm imagining isn't considered pretty. You don't know. You don't want to know where you are sitting. What I'm imagining isn't considered pleasant. What we are inappropriately using a piece, and what I'm imagining doesn't go with it. And it's laughed at because it's all into my life. They be trying to insert fear of my owl head of this honest well, my rapidly is perked when people don't act civil, and decency is shucked. I needed answers for my cancer. I find them in love and pain. They both seem the same. I begin to view the rain as a type of the gain. Everyone knows love's scorn, which leaves me in tone. I can't help but feel the situation differs. Something about the rejection seems stiffer. So I become a shapeshifter to avoid the head gifters, to avoid wearing the shame of being called names I know other people have it worse. Sometimes we feel like a curse. I can't gauge the importance of the major events in my life. I don't know whether to think they are intense or just right. Maybe I'm just being dramatic about these instances and sporadic. But those that I love push and show. I start to wonder if I'm broken or still until I realize we have all burned by love's flames. We all have a path to travel and they are all made of gravel. Our feet become so, which affects our core. We find that people below us on the totem pole to know how it feels to treat someone cold. For whenever enthusiasm for love has faded, it's easy to become jaded. There are things we are ashamed of that morph us into something unrecognizable, and which we should be truly ashamed. In the mirror, we look the same, but our actions are toxic. We become radioactive. We see we have our stock sits and become merely reactive, and it's hard to find grace after being punched into the face. But one must remember, punches come in all forms, and we must not punch back to survive the storm. Beware. I see through the moss you wear. I'm not fooled. So stop pretending you care. We both know you're not who you say you are. The poison is slow. I can't believe you ever let it get this far. Stop lying to me, cause I know the truth. Then don't you to speak. They don't want you to speak. The demons that chase you. Let me show you the way. But beware of the shadows that want you to stay. I can't pretend to know how you feel, so I won't. Just please know that I'm here. I don't want you to fall, but don't drag me down. Free yourself into this storm, or we'll both surely drown. Unveil your mask, break the chains, open up your eyes, and you will see the enemies is bunker deep down inside. Tick tock, tick tock. You are running out of time. The bump's about to blow. There is nowhere left to hide. Are you my friend or my foe? I have stood by your side all your years, exposed to your toxic radiation. Was it worth all the years I've done with this affiliation? Vaheguru. Tati, come, I'll make you sit in there. Come, come. See how much I love you. All right. You want? You want it? Broken picker. Have you ever felt angry enough to sad enough that can be literally feel your own heartbreak, helpless to the point you feel you can't control even a bit of your own life, let alone anything else? I can do a daily basis. I do on a daily basis.